Can we be more gentle with that comic? Oh, is the back already spindled? Oh, man. Okay. Oh, this will never be near mint again. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What you mean?
I'm talking about that corner.
It was bought like that. At Midtown.
It's on the right track, baby. It was bought this way. I don't know the rest of the song, but it's terrible.
Man, this comic book sucks. And the reviews online said it was good. I wasted my money. Why didn't somebody tell me?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Spinner Rack. And today we're talking about a what if title. What if Spider-Man became the Punisher? Now, to me, I think it's an absolutely fantastic premise. But once again, I'm going to put my boys on, Kyle and Petey. What do you guys think about this?
You know, he had his hand on my shoulder, and when he said Petey, he actually that's when I got the reassuring, pat on the back. Okay.
That happened. Well, I got that in the last one where he said the cow, and I felt the cow this way.
I touched you both at the same damn time. It doesn't matter.
All right. I'm certain Petey will agree with me on this much. We have had two different major what if series. There's the original Volume 1.
The amazing original volume.
Okay, let's put amazing to this. The amazing original Volume 1, that's very much in the vein of stories like Twilight Zone type stories at the end of the day. And they used to end not too well for the person because they were wise enough to realize, hey, if this ends well, then that actually conflicts with what we have going on in our actual continuity, the canon stories. That second round was more of a mashup of characters. What if Venom became Thor, along those type of lines? What if Peter Parker married, the Black Cat, those type of things?
Or he became Punisher.
This is in the vein of that second series, which is again, not as amazing as that first one, but okay, comic book guys seem to like these mashups. They like
want to see this. That's right.
They like these mashups of characters. Of what would the Punisher look like if he was Spider-Man? Okay, what would Venom look like if he was Captain America? What if the Venom symbiote was the actual super soldier serum that Captain America had? What the hell costume would that look like? And that sort of speculative schoolyard talk these guys actually like. So that was my approach to the book when I got into it. I read it and I said, you know what? I think for that audience and for people who are already craving this is something that they're going to eat up with a spoon and be very happy with.
Petey, let's see what left field thing you're coming for. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that.
Call us, DC.
So this has, obviously, as was already said, the basic premise, Spider-Man. The thing that there was a little roadblock that I was struggling with was that he is not actually like the amalgam of the outfits. So would he, just because of the death of Uncle Ben, push him to be someone out for vengeance a la Batman? But this sort of put together, I got spider powers, so he's like, I think at some point they say he's a punishing spider, which I don't know that that's really the best name, but he could have just been the Punisher, but they're trying to keep a little of both worlds.
At least they didn't put the names together and call them like the Spunishers or something like that.
Well, in this one, you have also, it's more like the dark costume, but I don't know if the skull necessarily works, because then you're not really, I don't know. It's okay. It's an okay book. I mean, this also plays to what goes on in the comic books today, of having these, what we would do. Like, we as the audience, we'd be like, hey, even if I could have stopped the guy who killed Uncle Ben, I still want vengeance. Whereas there was a defeated aspect to Peter Parker in the original story with like, I could have stopped this in a moment of reflection. Whereas now this works for the fans, like this aspect of him taking him out. But only thing I could really, only complaint I could make is that the characterization of like Spider-Man and like the Gwen, like going to the Gwen of, it's sort of like the Cypher Gwen that sort of like has the headband and whatnot. It's not really these characters, because what's the name? Mary Jane is not a serious character in the early books. She's very much happy-go-lucky.
But she's insulted, that's why.
she doesn't get in, like, she basically, I think Meg Tilly, no, Jennifer Tilly described her the best, saying basically she just comes in and she just knocks all over the apple carts with all the guys. Like, she keeps them, she's not, obviously there's some airness, like almost not necessarily airhead, but she still has this power over the men where they just sort of, she comes in, she steals every scene she's in, and then she leaves. And this is sort of making her into what I guess Tom DeFalco did. So that's otherwise, I guess the art is okay.
Great art.
It's not great, but it's okay. I think the characterization could
It
be a
doesn't
little
need to be.
better.
I don't think it needs to be great on What If. What If
Yeah.
used to be a proving ground for artists where they could go show some talent, improve their talents, and writers as well, where they could go and do these type of stories and say, okay, fine, you're getting it, you're understanding how to meet a deadline, you're understanding how to produce, some quality work, and now we can move you up to a regular series. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, it didn't. The thing is that they didn't necessarily start that way because you start with Herb Trimpe, you had Miller,
we're trying to sell the book.
like Byrne. Yeah, you had a lot, and then key storylines of Phoenix, Wolverine. So it was like they were.
But those are. I mean, you're choosing like some of the best stories. Though.
That's a good portion.
You're choosing the best stories as opposed to like
out of 44 issues. That's like even.
I'm thinking of stories like what if Doctor Doom became a hero as opposed to let's get Frank Miller to do this cover and get Chris Claremont to do the story.
But I'm gonna say, like, it's in the monthly grind. You have all the great stuff that Byrne did, and then you have Spinneret. Like, no one remembers really Spinneret from the Fantastic Four run. So it was like, I feel it's more in the vein that there was. I mean, as it went along, it was a little more misses than victories in What If. But I mean, this one you can definitely look at it. It ends on a okay note, and it has some of the key Spider-Man things. I would just say I just have an issue of the putting together of it. It's just this is to sell it. We put these two characters together. I would wish it'd be a little more if he was just
that's where
like
the market,
one or the other.
that is where the Marvel, not even so much the DC market, that is where the Marvel market is right now. There is like I said it before. It's like you used to have like Batman the Animated Series, and you would go and they would have like the standard Batman toy, and then they would have like underwater Batman, go to space Batman. Bright light Batman, and they do the same thing with the Marvel characters now. Okay, you got Punisher Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Daredevil
Yeah.
Spider-Man. It's just between these, and I do call these cover swipes. I hate using the term. I prefer homage if it's there, but between just swiped covers, real expensive variants. It's amazing at the stuff that I see. This is from the House of Ideas, no less. I'm surprised at the lack of ideas when it comes down to it. But Marvel has usually been able to market this stuff pretty well. And this is right up the alley of what these guys are looking for. This is, okay, who can win in a fight? Well, what if so and so forth, did this? And then you can come right over with it. But the one thing that I do hold out hope for is, look, if they can get some good stories out of this with some guys actually thinking, then yeah, that's a win for everybody.
And
then
talent.
That's a win for everybody, because then you'll have these cats coming over here and they're getting what they want in terms of seeing, okay, that mashup. But if you can also get the story to understand why this doesn't work, why this doesn't work, why Spider-Man only works if it happens the way that it happened in that story, and that's the reason why he's been successful for so long. Like you said, when Peter Parker comes and sees that the guy he just captured is the guy that he could have stopped before, he realizes that vengeance, it's fruitless at this point. Okay, because you had the chance to stop this. Killing him now, it doesn't do anything. It just compounds it. It makes it even worse. He understands that. But Peter Parker understands that because within him is a hero that is going to be developed over time. Okay, some heroes need a catalyst. Some heroes are born. And Peter gets that catalyst through probably the worst mistake of his life. Yeah. That's why Spider-Man resonates with so many guys in terms of his character, why he's always resonated with me as a hero. This right over here, or at least a lot of the stuff that we get approaching in sort of mashups or in sort of storylines like this, where, hey, I would kill him. That's why you're not a superhero. That's why you're not a superhero at the end of the day.
Right, but he's trying to he goes to the ultimate where he's like, if this guy's was no longer around, then hey, this will help save crime. We won't have to keep going over. I wouldn't be fighting the Kraven 15 times. I wouldn't be fighting.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree for this story. I don't disagree. Right. But the biggest thing that I always took out of the what ifs is why can't Doctor Doom be a hero? Because Doctor Doom is a tragic figure regardless of whatever the hell happens. So it doesn't matter if you put him in gray armor or golden armor. Dr. Doom's story is one of a tragedy. So he can't escape that. It doesn't matter if it's on the Prime Earth or whatever these multiple Earths are. That's what you're getting out of these particular stories. Why? Because even the guys who have started saying, no, this is where this guy works. He works here. If I take this away and move him over here, I don't necessarily have a character that works anymore. He doesn't have the flexibility of, say, Venom, where I can have this guy be a villain one moment and an anti-hero the next. I can have him do some comedy because the guys just love him. It doesn't matter what I do with him. They just love him.
Yeah.
Doom's claim to fame is just being this megalomaniacal villain that works. We want to see Doom take over the planet. We want to see Doom win every once in a while. And that's what I always got from the what ifs.
But in his country, the trains run on time. The clocks are always on
We're
time.
not getting
And it's
into
nice and
What
the
are you
logic
talking
of it.
about?
Yes, the thing is, that's getting into like whether
That's
Dr.
another
Doom
discussion.
works or
We'll
not.
do a Dr. Doom.
I can't
era.
believe you're like, it's Mussolini, man. What are you doing?
I don't recall that. But look, I say
Trump.
everybody run out, grab What If Punisher. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I do
story.
recommend it.
You
I
know,
do recommend
and
it
if
as
you're
a
a
read.
Spidey fan, you won't be disappointed because, you know,
Because look at that
Wait,
cover.
you
because-
won't be disappointed.
because, yeah, look at that
because
cover
it
art.
comes back to
If
who he
you-
is.
if
He-
you-
he's
Who doesn't love the
core-
black suit? Look at that cover
The
art.
core of who he is shines.
What's the core of who he is? He's shooting Craven.
At the beginning,
He shoots
but
Craven.
He changes, Petey.
He
changes.
already killed Craven.
So what?
Can we be more gentle with that comic? Oh, is the back already spindled? Oh, man. Okay. Oh, this will never be near mint again. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What you mean?
I'm talking about that corner.
It was bought like that. At Midtown.
I
Spin
hear
rack?
it's on the right track, baby. It was bought this way. I don't know the rest of the song, but it's terrible.
Off the rails.
Spin a rack. We're out. Oh, buy a comic.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Spinnerack.
Spinnerack.
You saved me money.